Yo, we're back with episode 379 of Keeping It 100 with Konnan, the mighty DI, and Jojo, the Philly entrepreneur. Boom, what it do? Bro, have you heard the drops? Wait, do you still put the drops on, right, Joe?
Yes.
How many people do you say buried Disco? And he seemed to accuse me of, in some way, concocting a plan to tell people to bury him. You've done a couple of these.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you literally tell people to bury me and put you over, and that's what we get in the drops.
But if you're so well liked, why would they do it? When they say, "You dude, I'm not going to bury Disco. He's too nice of a guy."
You're delivering a narrative, okay? You're controlling the narrative. I am literally more well liked than you would lead on to believe,
right?
And like you were trying to make it sound like I'm not, and you're delivering fake news to disparage my good name by telling people to bury me, as opposed, but you're literally telling people bury Disco when they would probably have good things to say about me 99% of the time.
Well, this week it was actually.
Well, you've gotten drops, right? Right.
Yeah, I've gotten them in.
What usually happens? What do you usually say? What do you usually say? Hey,
I would say.
What do you?
Yeah, Konnan wanted me to ask some of the guys if they would do a drop for K100. Would you like to do a drop? You basically identify yourself, say, hey, you're listening to K100. And then if you'd like, give a comment about Konnan and Disco or maybe an experience with them, something like that. And they'll go, okay.
So how stop. Full stop. Full stop. That is the spiel that's a shtick that you're giving the guys?
Yeah. I don't know. There's no bullet points.
You're not directing them at the behest of Konnan to bury me. Would you be willing to take a lie detector test of that?
I'll take a lie detector. I wouldn't be comfortable with something
like
that.
You're antagonizing the witness.
Really? Yeah. I'm not first of all, he's not a witness. He's a suspect. Okay,
yeah,
so
you're antagonizing the suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you can't sit there and tell me that I'm not adored and loved by most of the fans.
Is that the vibe you're getting, Joe?
I mean, I saw you live in 1997, and I saw you live in like 2021, and beloved is not a term I would use from the for the response I've seen in crowds.
See, that's the problem, Disco. A lot of people
Twitter
confuse your character with you.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Well,
exactly.
I think honestly, I'm misunderstood. I'm the subject of attacks. I'm the subject of fake news
and ridicule.
And false narratives promoted by you specifically, Konnan.
By me?
Bro,
how many times have I not defended you in the mailbag?
This sounds like what Kevin Gill used to say.
Through Joe, you direct Joe to entice our guests or the drops to ridicule me. I think there's a lot of evidence to support that.
We've actually had listeners get drops for us too to help us out. Mike Durbin's done it. Matt Trevino's done it. A few other guys. Yeah, Mike Durbin gets us drops at NWA shows, and I don't think Mike's never been given a directive to get you insulted or buried. So.
Yeah, absolutely. No. That's the problem there.
Okay,
that is the question. Now, I would like to see if we got the DOJ involved in this, right? The Department of Justice,
right?
And they got the encrypted messages, the DMs. They got you. I think that we would absolutely see evidence that there's a concerted effort through direct messages, encrypted like on social media, like your accounts, to direct people to disparage my good name.
That's kind of libelous towards my person.
Plus, Disco, you're well aware.
I want you to know, Glenn Gilberti, that I'm offended.
Let's go to court and let's see discovery. Discovery, I think, would not benefit your narrative.
Well, you're not going to find anything from me, Disco, because as we all know, I would never insult someone in text behind their back or try to do anything nefarious. I mean, that's ridiculous. So,
well, but the drops, right then and there, you've committed perjury. Right?
Apparently,
so right, obviously.
But you'll be happy to know that I used two classic drops this week. In one drop, Cody Rhodes wasn't a very big fan of yours.
Where is this drop? You got a drop from Cody when?
Oh, this like before. I said, it's a classic.
This is a retro interview.
Yeah,
pull it up. I want to hear this.
Okay.
What year would you say this was?
Joe,
2017.
Let me be honest. All right. I used to listen to the show back. Okay, but that would be during off season, like fantasy football. Like when football season starts, I listen to football like sports podcasts. Okay. So I'm like right now, I'm not listening to the show back. I'm like we record an excessive amount of hours. Like we honestly, like most podcasts, I think we record, for hours wise content for our Patreon and stuff, everything. We record probably way more than most podcasts. Would we all agree with that? Like based on what we've seen, like
I don't know. I don't listen to other podcasts. So
I don't, but I can say. Go ahead.
Maybe back. Well, Conrad used to record really long marathon sessions with like Bruce, but not anymore. Yeah.
But this is one podcast with just the three of us, right? We record like 5 to 6 hours a week, which is a massive number. Okay, for content. So I want to hear this. I want to hear what you have. This response from codes.
Well, I think the two most popular parts of the Patreon. One is on the $15 tier. You get all the shows ad free and early, plus a lot of audio that's not going to make Spreaker. So it'll be exclusive to Patreon. Then you get all the show reviews, of course. And for the $25 tiers, where you get to hop on the roundtables with Konnan and DI and music reviews. And you can also get a monthly plug, whether or not you want to plug your social media or an online business, or it could be anything. It could be a YouTube channel. You could run a garage that repairs cars. Doesn't matter. You can plug whatever you want on here if you're on the $25 tier. So that's the two most popular things. And like Konnan always says, over 6 years, it's going to be almost 7 years of back catalog on there, which is just an entire archive of everything the show's ever recorded, pretty much. So we've never run out of stuff to listen to. Yep.
And sometimes there are subjects that we can't broach and put on the main show because the snowflakes will melt, and we may even be deplatformed, and we throw those on Patreon. So we like to push the envelope. We like to be edgy.
Or this. I want to throw this out there.
Yeah.
A lot of the listeners of our show, because keep it 100, think that you specifically are not honest towards a lot of the stuff about AEW because you're working a relationship with them. I want to point that out.
What working, bro, dude?
I'm just telling you what the people
am I working? Okay, just so people understand, and you too, if you happen to be part of that little ilk. Part of my dealings with them is I don't have to talk. I don't. It isn't if you talk bad about us, we're not going to give you. I have been told by people in the office, hey, it would be cool if you could it with the comments. And it's like, bro, I get paid for doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. Whatever AEW doesn't do good, I still put it out there, whatever they do. But people just want me to hate on them for everything.
Nobody talks about the positive things you said.
Right.
Plus I guess there's no viral Konnan puts over AEW. And it happens a lot. So I was like, right.
Yeah, there's not an audience for me talking positive, but there is one negatively. So they can tell Tony, oh, look, this guy's talking about you. I doubt Tony has the time to listen to a 2.5 hour show. Somebody must give him clips. You know what I'm saying? But I like Tony. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I like Tony, as a person.
We have I want to call it privilege, okay? Because there's a lot of people out there that want to pontificate on professional wrestling, creative and everything, that have never sat in the room. We've sat in the room. Okay, we've been on booking committees. You right now are the head creative guy in AAA and everything, but we have a platform where we give all of our thoughts on what we see and what we view critical or not. Okay, everything we say on the show is like if say Tony Khan hired me and you on the booking committee, everything we say on this show is nothing that we would have no qualm saying it to Tony in that room. Okay, so I think that a lot of people forget that I don't want to use the word expert, but it's like, dude, how many people have been in booking committees before in professional wrestling? There's not a lot. There's been a lot of professional wrestlers, but there's not a lot of people been in booking committees. It's a very small collective group of people. Our circle. I know you've done it. Me and Nash were boys. He's done it. We have Kevin Sullivan on the show. We have Eric on the show. We have Vince on the show. We've had Ed Ferrara on the show. We don't have Terry Taylor on the show, but I've done it with him. We've had Jeremy Borash on the show and stuff. Jeff Jarrett. That's not a lot of people. And these are people that have been in the writing room for shows for a considerable amount of time over the history of shows. So people they're saying okay, we're being critical. It's like, yeah, but the criticisms that we have, bro, we were critical of each other in those writing rooms. I can't, Conan, how many times have you been in a booking meeting and you argue with the people in the meeting over what you want to do? They have an idea. You don't like the idea. You argue first. How often does it happen? It happens a lot. And like,
you're trying to convince somebody to accept your idea.
Right. Which is what we do for an audience now, because we have no skin in the game of these companies. We're literally doing a show is presented to us. We're watching the show, and we are critiquing and analyzing the booking decisions on the show and giving our opinions of like, okay, whether we like it. We're not saying we're right or wrong. We're just going to opinions. Go ahead.
I may forget. Let me explain something real quick. Disco's known me here a very long time. I've always been opinionated. I've always gotten heat for speaking my mind.
Me too.
Is this true or not? Okay. I remember like in 1992, a lot of people in the industry were like, well, I can't believe you did that interview. Go back and read my Torch interview from 1992 where I just bury Ric Flair when everybody thought he was this really nice guy, know? Then little by little, you see what he really is. Okay. So back then I've always talked. I'm opinionated. That's how I am. And I'll die opinionated. Okay. Doesn't mean that I hate anybody, because I don't. And I want Tony to do good. That's why we get frustrated. We want that when WWE was unwatchable, we wanted to do good. Now it's easier to watch show, Right. I hope that, maybe with the exception of what they did, which you were right, last week where they did one promo and then they did another promo right after it. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I just think the pacing's a lot better than it was before when they were sticking 10 pounds of 5-pound bag. Bro, we want people to, you guys are the haters. And here's the thing. If I come out here and I'm telling you something, which I have no reason to lie, not trying to be relevant, not trying to do, just keeping it 100, right? And you still are going to think that I'm lying. Okay, well, then that's on you. If you hate me that much that I just gave you an explanation and you still think I'm lying, that's on you.
Right. And let me make a very, very important point. If the people that listen to us, and I think this clip will probably be on YouTube, right? And like people that listen to this, everything. If you invest yourself and decide to listen to me and Konnan talk about, give our reviews of wrestling, reviews of shows, and like what we say, bro, you can't possibly think that anything we're saying is not coming from a position of honesty. Because you listen to like a lot of these Mark podcasters, the dirt sheet guys, and you can just tell that they do not want to upset like the people that run. Like they don't want to upset the fan base. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to you can see like the way they praise everything in the throw. Bro, they're not being honest. We're honest critiques of the shows, and but nobody wants to. You post the good things we say. All they want to do is to directly. Right. So the only thing that gets out there is the negative stuff. Like when we criticize stuff like Sportskeeda. The only thing Sportskeeda looks at us as they're making money off clickbait. Oh, yeah. Konnan said this. Disco said this. Okay, we said some good stuff too. You don't want to post that? It's like no. It's like just negativity, clickbait. All they want to do is highlight all the negative things we say. But all I want to say is if you listen to our YouTube clips, invest in our show. Listen to our conversations that we have and on this show, and I think that you would have a different perspective as to where we're coming from. Because we're definitely not haters. We're just think that there's some fundamental decisions that that they make or errors, and we point them out.
Really, the haters are the fans. They hate everything, and they hate you, and they hate me, and they hate this guy, and they hate that guy. Bro, that's on you. I really don't give.
But crazy.
Here, one of the things that I get the most, we get it a lot, and even in the mailbag, is a lot of people say the two shows that I listen to the most because I feel the most honest, and this is not taking shades at anybody else. This is what's written to me on at least twice a week is our show and Cornette's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference in Cornette, we don't personally attack other people in the business, like the performers, like
just the
Cornette,
podcast producer.
Yeah, Cornette calls these people names and stuff. You imagine that, I'm not gonna I would probably like perfect example. I've been critical of Kenny Omega's work, right? But I would probably find a lot of common ground with a guy that likes probably hockey and stuff. Like we'd probably be friends.
Right.
How many
He's
people
very cool, bro.
Let me be honest.
You would like Kenny.
How many people would say like Disco, like I'm friendly with him in the business? Like 100%? Like, it's like, am I like this guy that like in the business that like the people know when I come in the locker room, I'm not friendly with everybody. Literally everybody. I don't know. Like,
how many guys would you say you actually had a crossword with where it was serious?
Hard.
Like serious. Like,
I can't even really tell you.
Yeah.
Nobody's had a crossword with me because I've always been a guy that when I got in the booking committee, right, I would, to my detriment, I would I would never promote myself. I was always trying to get other guys over that, like in the locker room, like I told people, like when I was with Terry Taylor and everybody, right, I would see personality in people in the locker room, and I would tell Terry, like Terry, you need perfect example, Ernest Miller. They were doing nothing with Ernest Miller. Ernest Miller was in the locker room talking to people, running his mouth and stuff. It was funny. I told Terry, give this guy the mic and let him just start cutting promos before his match or anything. They gave Ernest Miller the mic, and he got over because the guy could rap. He was funny. He was an entertaining guy. I was like, so give this guy and he got over like in front of people because he would do that. That's what I would do. I would look at people in the locker room and say, this guy's not being pushed. We could probably do something with him because I see this in his personality. And I would bring that into the booking meetings all the time. Like I was always trying to help everybody. Like people I saw something in, like, hey, this guy can do this. Let's give this guy a chance. Like, I see this in him. Like Booker was a guy who was like constant. When I first started the booking, I was like, dude, we need to start pushing Booker more. He's funny as hell. He's one of those over guys in the locker room. His work is great. He's funny. Let's take this guy out of the mid card and take him to the next level. And like Stevie Ray. I was like, Stevie Ray is funny, bro. We would all go watch boxing together. Right, me, you, Konnan, Stevie Ray. We go watch the fights. We'd all talk. You could just see that those guys were entertaining guys and the type of guys that like should be in like commentary positions. And like I said, so I got Stevie Ray, like put him on commentary. This guy is like a natural born commentator because like we're watching the boxing. This guy, and he's like we're all like this guy knows what he's doing. So I was always like the type of guy like to push other people, help people out, try to push other people to my detriment. Because I would never try to push myself. I always try to push other people. You know that about me, Konnan. How did I ever try to really get myself over? Like
I actually had ones because I was like, bro, why are you getting all these ideas for everybody else and none for the filthy animals?
Right. So exactly, because I'd be like, because I was always trying to like help everybody out. And like nobody really knows that about me.
And not make it seem like you're taking advantage of your position to push the filthy animals.
Exactly. Yeah. So all right.